The red ships came from the darkness between stars like hungry wolves. Admiral Kextor stood on his command deck and watched another world die. His fleet had destroyed 17 different planets in the past year. Each time was the same. The aliens would fight for a few hours, then surrender when they realized they could not win. The Zephyrian Empire was the strongest force in this part of the galaxy. Their ships were bigger than cities. Their weapons could melt mountains. Every species they met either joined them or died. Kextor liked it that way. War was simple when you always won. His intelligence officer walked up to him. "Sir, we found another species. They call themselves humans. They live around a yellow star about 50 light years from here." Kextor looked at the data on his screen. The humans had 12 big ships and maybe 40 smaller ones. It looked like a normal defense fleet for a young species. "How many worlds do they control?" "Just one, sir. They call it Earth. But they have some colonies on other planets in their system." "Good. We will attack in 1 week. Tell the other captains to prepare their ships." Far away, Commander Jake Harrison was having a normal day on his ship, the UES, Atlantic. He was drinking coffee and reading reports when the communication system started making loud noises. The voice that came through was full of fear. "This is Colony 7. Unknown ships are attacking us. They are huge, red-colored. Our defenses cannot stop them. They are killing everyone. Please help us." The signal cut to static. Jake sat down, his coffee cup, and called his crew to battle stations. Within minutes, his ship was moving toward the colony at maximum speed. But they were too late. When Jake's ship arrived, Colony 7 was gone. Nothing was left except burning rocks and metal, floating in space. The attackers had left, but they had left a message. Jake's communication officer played the recording. "We are the Zephyrian Empire. Your colony has been destroyed because you resisted us. Surrender now, or all your worlds will burn." Jake sent the message back to Earth immediately. Within hours, every human military ship in the solar system was getting ready for war. Captain Lisa Martinez was in charge of putting the fleet together. She worked from the command center on Luna, Earth's moon. Her screens showed 12 heavy cruisers, 40 destroyers, and 2 big dreadnought ships. It was everything Earth had for defense. "Are all ships ready?" she asked her assistant. "Yes, Captain. Every ship is armed and waiting for orders." Lisa nodded. She had been preparing for this day her whole life. Earth had always known that someday they might meet hostile aliens. The question was whether humanity was ready. The Zephyrians were watching human communications. Their spy ships had been listening to Earth's radio signals for months. They heard humans talking about mobilizing our fleet and every available ship. To the aliens, it sounded like the humans were putting together their entire military. War analyst Vex High was reading the intelligence reports. "The humans have maybe 60 ships total. This will be easy. We can destroy them in a few hours." Admiral Kextor was pleased. "Excellent. We will attack their home system directly. When we destroy their fleet, they will surrender immediately." The human fleet moved out to meet the alien threat. Captain Steve Rodriguez commanded the dreadnought UES Leviathan. Next to him, Captain Amy Foster commanded the UES Titan. These were the biggest ships humanity had ever built. "All ships, this is Rodriguez. We are about to face an enemy that has destroyed 17 worlds. They think we are weak. They think we will be easy to defeat. Let us show them how wrong they are." The crew on every human ship felt the same thing. They were scared, but they were also angry. These aliens had attacked human colonies without warning. They had killed innocent people. Now they were coming to Earth. Commander Ben Tyler was leading a group of destroyer ships. His job was to protect the big ships and attack enemy fighters. "Stay close to the dreadnoughts," he told his pilots. "When the shooting starts, remember, you're training." Lieutenant Colonel Sarah Brooks was in a fighter ship. She had trained for space combat her whole career, but she had never fought real aliens before. Around her, 50 other fighter pilots were getting ready for battle. "This is Brooks to all fighter squadrons. Check your weapons. Check your systems. We are the first line of defense for Earth. We will not let them pass." The alien fleet arrived at the edge of Earth's solar system 3 days later. It was massive. 80 big ships and hundreds of fighter craft. Each alien ship was dark red and covered with weapon ports. They looked like they were built only for destroying things. Admiral Kextor opened a communication channel to the human fleet. He spoke in 17 different languages, including English. Humans of Earth, you are surrounded and outnumbered. Surrender now, and we will allow some of you to live as slaves. Resist, and we will kill everyone on your planet. Captain Rodriguez answered for all of humanity. We have heard your message. Here is our answer. We refuse to surrender. If you want Earth, you will have to take it from us. Kextor was surprised. Most species begged for mercy at this point. These humans seemed different. Very well. You have chosen death. All ships, attack. The space around Luna lit up with weapon fire. Alien plasma beams shot toward the human fleet, but the human ships were ready. They moved in patterns that confused the alien targeting systems. Their weapons hit the alien ships with perfect timing. The battle had begun. Earth's first fleet was about to show the galaxy what humans could do when they were angry. But the aliens did not know the most important thing. What they were fighting was not really Earth's fleet at all. It was just the beginning. The first alien plasma beam missed the UES Leviathan by only a few meters. Captain Steve Rodriguez felt his ship shake as the energy passed by. All around him, space was full of red light and explosions. All weapons, fire at will. Rodriguez commanded. His ship's main guns turned toward the closest alien vessel and fired. The blue energy beam cut through the alien ship's shields like they were made of paper. Captain Amy Foster was having the same success on the UES Titan. Her gunners were hitting alien ships with every shot. Their shields are weaker than we expected, she reported to Rodriguez. Our weapons are cutting right through them. The alien fleet was in shock. Admiral Kextor watched his ships take damage from the human weapons. This was not supposed to happen. Human technology was supposed to be primitive compared to Zephyrian science. How are their weapons so powerful? Kextor demanded from his bridge crew. Unknown, sir. Our shields should stop anything they have, but their energy signatures are unlike anything we have seen before. Commander Ben Tyler was leading his destroyer squadron in a flanking attack. His ships moved around the side of the alien formation while the big human ships kept the aliens busy from the front. Tiger Squadron, follow my lead. We are going to hit their supply ships. Tyler's destroyers moved fast, dodging alien fighter craft. When they reached the back of the alien fleet, they opened fire on the larger ships that carried fuel and ammunition. The alien ships exploded in chains of fire. Without supplies, the frontline alien ships would not be able to fight for long. Lieutenant Colonel Sarah Brooks was in the middle of the biggest space dogfight in human history. Her fighter squadron was outnumbered 5-1, but they were winning. The alien pilots flew in straight lines and were easy to predict. Eagle leader to all squadrons, the aliens fight like robots. Use your creativity. Think like humans, not like machines. Brooks rolled her fighter upside down and fired at an alien ship that was chasing her wingman. The alien pilot tried to follow her movement but crashed into an asteroid instead. All around the battle area, human fighters were using tactics that the aliens had never seen. They worked together like a pack of wolves, helping each other and setting traps for enemy pilots. The Zephyrian war commander Hexval was getting desperate. All fighters, concentrate on their big ships, ignore the small craft. But when the alien fighters tried to attack the human dreadnoughts, they flew into a wall of defensive fire. The human ships were covered with small guns that could track fast targets. Dozens of alien fighters were destroyed in minutes. Captain Rodriguez was amazed at how well his fleet was fighting. Every human ship was working together perfectly. It was like they were all part of one big machine. Titan, this is Leviathan. Let us try a coordinated attack on their flagship. Copy that, Steve. My ship will attack from the left side. You take the right. The two biggest human ships turned toward Admiral Kextor's command vessel. It was 3 times larger than any human ship, but it was also slower and harder to move. Kextor saw the human dreadnoughts coming toward him. All weapons concentrate fire on those 2 ships. Destroy them now. Every gun on the alien flagship fired at the same time. Space lit up with red energy. But when the light faded, both human ships were still there. They had shields that absorbed most of the damage, and armor that could handle the rest. Impossible, Kextor whispered. Our weapons should have destroyed them. The human ships fired back. Their weapons were different from anything the aliens had seen. Instead of energy beams, they fired solid projectiles that moved at incredible speeds. The metal bullets punched through the alien ship's armor like it was made of cloth. Alarms were ringing all over Kextor's ship. Half of his weapon systems were offline. His engines were damaged, his ship was dying around him. Sir, we need to retreat, his second-in-command said. We are losing too many ships. Kextor looked at his tactical display. In 4 hours of fighting, he had lost 68 ships. The humans had not lost a single vessel. This was not a battle. It was a massacre. All ships, retreat to hyperspace. Emergency jump now. The surviving alien ships turned and ran. Their jump drives charged up and they disappeared into the darkness between stars. Only 12 ships escaped out of the 80 that had attacked. The human fleet watched them go. Captain Rodriguez opened a communication channel to all his ships. Well done, everyone. We have won our first victory against the Zephyrian Empire. Cheers could be heard on every human ship. They had faced a superior force and won. But the celebration did not last long. Everyone knew the aliens would be back with more ships. Captain Foster was looking at the damage reports from the battle. Steve, we used a lot of ammunition, and some of our ships took minor damage. If they come back with a bigger fleet, we might have problems. Rodriguez nodded. Send all the battle data to Earth Command. They need to know what we learned today. On Earth, President Marcus Johnson was meeting with his military advisors. General Patricia Davis was showing him recordings from the battle. The good news is that our weapons work better than expected against alien technology. The bad news is that this was probably just a scouting force. The real attack will be much larger. Admiral Craig Thompson agreed. Our intelligence suggests the Zephyrians have hundreds of ships, maybe thousands. We cannot win with just 60 ships. President Johnson was quiet for a moment. Then he turned to Admiral Kevin Walsh, who had been silent during the meeting. Kevin, is it time? Walsh nodded slowly. Yes, sir. I think it is time to activate the reserves. What reserves? General Davis asked. She thought she knew about every military asset Earth had. Walsh smiled. The ones that have been waiting for this day for 20 years. The ones the aliens do not know about. President Johnson picked up a secure phone. This is the President. Authorization code Alpha 77 Omega. Begin Operation Deep Strike. All around the solar system, hidden bases started receiving the signal. Ships that had been sleeping in secret locations began to wake up. The real Earth fleet was about to reveal itself. The aliens thought they had seen everything humanity had to offer. They were about to learn how wrong they were. The Crystal Palace on the Zephyrian homeworld had never seen such anger. Emperor Zalthek sat on his throne made of black metal and listened to the surviving officers from the human battle. Their reports made no sense. You are telling me that 60 primitive ships destroyed our entire battle group? The Emperor's voice echoed through the Great Hall. Impossible. Admiral Kextor stood before the throne with his head down. His uniform was torn and dirty from the battle. Your Majesty, their weapons were unlike anything we have encountered. Their tactics were superior to ours. They fought like they knew exactly what we would do. War Marshal Nexvor slammed his fist on the table. He was the strongest general in the Zephyrian military. This is madness. No young species can defeat our technology. You must have made mistakes. I made no mistakes, Kextor replied. I followed every battle protocol. Our ships fought bravely. But the humans were better prepared than we expected. Emperor Zalthek stood up from his throne. He was 12 feet tall and his skin was dark red like dried blood. When he was angry, the temperature in the room seemed to drop. Show me the battle recordings. The hologram system activated in the center of the hall. 3-dimensional images showed the battle around Luna. The Zephyrian leaders watched their ships being destroyed by human weapons. They saw their fighters being outmaneuvered by human pilots. They saw their proud fleet running away in defeat. Stop. The recording, the Emperor commanded. The room fell silent. How many ships do the humans have in total? Intelligence Officer Zekrin stepped forward. He had been studying human communications for months. Our analysis suggests they have approximately 60 combat vessels. What we fought was their entire military force. Then how did they win? Unknown, Your Majesty. Their technology appears more advanced than our initial assessment suggested. But they are still only one species on one world. We can overwhelm them with numbers. War Marshal Nexvor was eager for revenge. Your Majesty, give me the 3rd, 4th, and 5th armadas. I will bring 300 ships to the human system. Even if their individual ships are better than ours, they cannot fight against such numbers. The Emperor considered this. 3 armadas represented 1/4 of the entire Zephyrian military. It would be the largest single attack force ever assembled. Very well, but I want to know everything about these humans before you attack. Find out where their technology comes from. Learn their weaknesses. On Earth, Dr. Helen Morrison was working late in her laboratory. She was the director of the Deep Space Monitoring Project. Her job was to watch the galaxy for threats to humanity. Right now, those threats were multiplying fast. Admiral Thompson, you need to see this, she called to her military liaison. Craig Thompson hurried over to her computer screen. What am I looking at, Helen? Alien ship movements near their home system. Large formations moving toward our sector of space. I count at least 250 vessels. Maybe more. Thompson felt his stomach drop. How long until they reach Earth? Based on their previous travel speeds, about 2 weeks. Maybe less if they push their engines hard. Thompson immediately called an emergency meeting of the Earth Defense Council. Within hours, the most powerful people on Earth were sitting around a conference table in Geneva. President Johnson looked tired. The stress of commanding humanity's first interstellar war was showing on his face. Tell me we have good news, Admiral. I am afraid not, sir. The aliens are coming back with a force 4 times larger than the first attack. Our current fleet cannot handle those numbers. General Davis was studying the intelligence reports. Even if we fight perfectly, we can maybe destroy 50 of their ships before they overwhelm us. That still leaves 200 ships to attack Earth. What about our allies? Someone asked. Can we get help from other species? Admiral Walsh shook his head. We are new to galactic politics. We do not have any allies yet. Most species are probably afraid to help us because they do not want the Zephyrians to attack them next. The room was quiet for several minutes. Everyone was thinking the same thing. Humanity was alone and outnumbered. It looked like Earth was going to fall. President Johnson turned to Admiral Walsh. Kevin, you mentioned reserves earlier. What exactly are you talking about? Walsh looked around the room. Even in this group, only a few people knew the complete truth about Earth's military capabilities. Ladies and gentlemen, what the aliens fought at Luna was not our main fleet. It was our decoy fleet. What do you mean? General Davis asked. For the past 20 years, we have been building secret shipyards all over the solar system. The 60 ships that fought at Luna were meant to look like our entire military. The real fleet is hidden where the aliens cannot see it. President Johnson smiled for the first time in days. How big is the real fleet? Including the decoy ships, we have approximately 600 combat vessels. Most of them are larger and better armed than anything the aliens have seen. The room erupted in surprised voices. Even the highest military officers had not known about the secret fleet. Why was this kept secret from us? General Davis demanded. Because we needed the secret to be believable, Walsh explained. If everyone knew about the hidden fleet, the information might have leaked out. The aliens needed to believe they were fighting our best forces. Admiral Thompson was reading through classified files on his computer tablet. According to this, we have 5 separate reserve fleets hidden throughout the solar system. Each one is larger than what we used at Luna. Correct. The 2nd reserve fleet is hidden on Mars. The 3rd is stationed around Jupiter. The 4th is disguised as mining ships in the asteroid belt. The 5th is in deep space beyond Pluto. President Johnson stood up. Gentlemen, I think it is time to let the Zephyrians see what Earth is really capable of. Admiral Walsh, begin activation. Of all reserve fleets. Walsh nodded and picked up his secure communication device. This is Admiral Walsh, authorization code Omega-77 Alpha. Operation Deep Strike is now active. All reserve commanders report status immediately. All over the solar system, hidden bases began to respond. Ships that had been waiting in silence for decades started powering up their engines. Crews that had trained in secret reported to their battle stations. On Mars, Admiral Julia Parker watched 50 dreadnoughts emerge from underground hangars. Each ship was twice the size of the vessels that fought at Luna. Near Jupiter, Captain Nick Sullivan commanded 100 heavy battleships that had been hiding among the gas giants' moons. In the asteroid belt, Admiral Grace Turner's ships stopped, pretending to be mining vessels, and revealed their true nature as warships. Beyond Pluto, Commander Paul Anderson oversaw the most advanced ships in the human fleet. These vessels used technology that Earth had captured from other alien encounters over the years. The Zephyrians thought they were coming to fight 60 human ships. Instead, they were about to face the largest military force humanity had ever assembled. The trap was set. Now they just had to wait for the aliens to walk into it. The red sand of Mars shook as massive doors opened in the planet's surface. Admiral Julia Parker stood on the bridge of her flagship and watched 50 dreadnoughts rise from their hidden underground hangars. Each ship was black as space and twice the size of the vessels that had fought at Luna. All ships report ready status, she commanded. Her communication officer nodded as reports came in from the 2nd Reserve Fleet. Admiral, all 50 ships are operational. Weapons systems online, stealth systems active. Parker smiled. She had been waiting 20 years for this moment. Excellent. Begin moving toward Earth orbit. Stay hidden until Admiral Walsh gives the attack signal. The Martian reserve ships had been built in secret facilities deep beneath the planet's surface. They used advanced stealth technology that made them invisible to most sensors. The Zephyrians would not see them coming until it was too late. Near Jupiter, Captain Nick Sullivan was commanding an even larger force. 100 heavy battleships had been stationed among the gas giants' many moons. They had been disguised as research stations and mining platforms for decades. All ships, this is Sullivan. Remove your camouflage and prepare for combat operations. The fake research stations began to change. Weapon ports opened along their hulls. Engines that had been hidden inside asteroid camouflage came to life. What had looked like civilian installations revealed themselves as some of the most powerful warships ever built. Sir, all vessels report ready. The 3rd Reserve Fleet is operational. Sullivan looked out at his fleet with pride. These ships were designed specifically for fighting aliens. They had studied the wreckage from the Luna battle and improved their weapons based on what they learned. In the asteroid belt, Admiral Grace Turner was having the most fun. Her ships had been pretending to be mining vessels for so long that even she sometimes forgot they were really warships. All mining crews, please report to battle stations, she announced with a laugh. Her crew loved the joke. They had been pretending to mine asteroids while actually preparing for war. The 4th Reserve Fleet was unique. Every ship looked like a commercial mining vessel from the outside, but their mining lasers were actually plasma cannons powerful enough to destroy battleships. Their cargo holds were full of weapons and ammunition instead of ore. Turner to all ships. Stop mining operations and begin combat configuration. Around the asteroid belt, dozens of ships began to transform. Fake mining equipment folded away to reveal weapon systems. Engines that had been running at low power suddenly blazed to full strength. The mining fleet became a battle fleet in minutes. Beyond Pluto, in the cold darkness of deep space, Commander Paul Anderson oversaw humanity's most advanced ships. The 5th Reserve Fleet was small but incredibly powerful. These vessels used technology that Earth had captured from previous alien encounters. 20 years ago, a small alien scout ship had crashed on Earth. The government had kept it secret and used the technology to build better human ships. The 5th Reserve Fleet was the result of that research. All ships, begin final weapons check, Anderson commanded. His vessels were armed with energy weapons that could punch through any known armor. They also had shields that could absorb massive amounts of damage. Sir, all systems green. The 5th Reserve Fleet is ready for combat. Anderson nodded. His ships would be the surprise that broke the alien attack. They were humanity's secret weapon. Back on Earth, Admiral Walsh was coordinating the largest military operation in human history. His command center showed the location of every ship in all 5 fleets. Status report from all fleet commanders, he ordered. First fleet reports ready. All ships in position around Luna. Second fleet reports ready. Martian ships moving to intercept positions. Third fleet reports ready. Jupiter ships beginning acceleration toward Earth. Fourth fleet reports ready. Asteroid belt ships changing course for Earth orbit. Fifth fleet reports ready. Deep space ships moving to flanking positions. Walsh looked at the tactical display. In a few days, the solar system would contain more human warships than had ever existed in one place. The aliens were walking into a trap they could not imagine. President Johnson joined Walsh in the command center. "How many ships do we have? Total, Admiral?" 567 combat vessels, sir. Plus support ships and fighters, we have over 800 spacecraft ready for battle. And the aliens think we only have 60 ships? Yes, sir. Their intelligence is completely wrong. When they arrive, they will be outnumbered almost 2 to 1. General Davis was studying the fleet positions on her computer. This is incredible. How did we keep this secret for so long? Compartmentalized information and need-to-know basis, Walsh explained. Each fleet commander only knew about their own ships. Even most government officials did not know the full scope of our military buildup. Dr. Morrison entered the command center with new intelligence data. Admirals, the alien fleet has been detected entering our outer sensor network. They will arrive in approximately 36 hours. How many ships? President Johnson asked. 312 vessels. Exactly as predicted. Walsh activated the communication system that connected to all human fleets. This is Admiral Walsh to all fleet commanders. The enemy will arrive tomorrow. All ships are to maintain stealth until my direct order. When we reveal ourselves, we want it to be a complete surprise. Around the solar system, hundreds of human ships prepared for the largest space battle in history. Their crews knew they were fighting for the survival of their species, but they also knew they had advantages the enemy did not expect. Captain Rodriguez, still commanding the UES Leviathan, received his new orders. Steve, your first fleet will engage the aliens first, just like at Luna. Make them think they are fighting the same force as before. Understood, Admiral. How long do we maintain the deception? Until they fully commit to the attack. Then the reserves will reveal themselves. Captain Foster was excited to be part of the plan. Amy, your job is to make the aliens overconfident. Let them think they are winning for the first few minutes. Copy that. The UES Titan will put on a good show. The Zephyrian scout ships watching the solar system saw exactly what they expected. The same 60 human ships that had fought at Luna were taking defensive positions. There was no sign of any additional forces. War Marshal Nexivor received the intelligence report on his flagship. Excellent. The humans have not built any new ships since our last attack. 300 ships against 60 should be an easy victory. Admiral Kextor was less confident. Sir, I recommend caution. These humans are not like other species we have fought. You are worried about nothing, Admiral. No species can defeat the combined might of 3 Zephyrian armadas. The alien fleet moved toward Earth at maximum speed. They were eager for revenge and confident of victory. They had no idea they were flying into the largest military trap in galactic history. In 36 hours, the galaxy would learn what happened when someone tried to conquer humanity. The lesson would be written in fire and plasma across the void of space. War Marshal Nexivor stood on the bridge of his massive flagship and smiled. Through the view screen, he could see the human home system spread out before him. The same 60 ships that had defeated Admiral Kextor were waiting in defensive positions around their moon. This time will be different, Nexivor declared to his bridge crew. Today we will crush these upstart humans and show the galaxy what happens when you resist the Zephyrian Empire. His fleet was enormous. 312 warships arranged in perfect battle formation. Each ship was ready for war, their weapons charged and their crews eager for revenge. Captain Steve Rodriguez watched the alien fleet approach on his tactical display. The Zephyrian ships looked like a red wall of death moving toward Earth. He opened a communication channel to his crew. "This is your captain speaking. Today we face our greatest challenge. The aliens think they are fighting the same small fleet they met at Luna. They have no idea what is waiting for them. Stay calm, follow your orders, and remember that the survival of humanity depends on what we do in the next few hours." Admiral Walsh was monitoring the battle from his command center on Earth. Every screen showed different parts of the solar system where human ships were waiting and hiding. "All fleets, maintain stealth. Do not reveal yourselves until I give the direct order." The alien fleet spread out as it entered the inner solar system. Nexivore wanted to surround the human ship so they could not escape like last time. "All ships, take your positions," the War Marshal commanded. "Surround the humans. When I give the signal, we will destroy them all at once." Admiral Kextor was commanding one of the flanking groups. Something felt wrong to him, but he could not figure out what it was. The humans were in the same positions as before. Their ships looked the same, but his instincts told him this was a trap. "Scanner officer, run a full sensor sweep of the entire system. Look for anything unusual." "Yes, sir. Beginning long-range scan now." Captain Michelle Lee was the communication officer aboard the UES Dominion, the newest ship in the human fleet. Her job was to coordinate between all the different fleets when the time came. "All ships, this is Dominion Control. Alien fleet is now within maximum weapon range. Beginning Phase 1 of the battle plan." Captain Rodriguez opened a channel to the alien fleet. "Zephyrian vessels, this is Captain Rodriguez of the Earth Defense Fleet. You have entered human space without permission. Leave now or face the consequences." Nexivore laughed when he heard the message. The same arrogant humans who got lucky once. Today their luck runs out. He activated his fleet communication system. "All ships, open fire. Destroy every human vessel." The space around Luna exploded with weapon fire. Hundreds of red plasma beams shot toward the human ships. But just like before, the human vessels moved with perfect coordination. They dodged most of the incoming fire and returned shots that found their targets. "Impossible," Nexivore muttered. "How are they still so accurate?" The first phase of the battle lasted 30 minutes. The human ships fought exactly as they had at Luna, but this time they were outnumbered 5-1. Slowly, they began to take damage and fall back toward Earth. "Excellent," Nexivore said. "They are retreating. All ships, pursue them. Do not let any human ship escape." This was exactly what Admiral Walsh had been waiting for. The alien fleet was fully committed to the attack. They had moved into the inner solar system where his trap was waiting. "All reserve fleets, this is Admiral Walsh. Execute Operation Deep Strike. Reveal all vessels now." Around the solar system, hundreds of human ships suddenly appeared on every sensor. The second reserve fleet emerged from behind Mars. The third reserve fleet came around Jupiter at full speed. The fourth reserve fleet dropped their mining ship disguises in the asteroid belt. The fifth reserve fleet materialized from the darkness beyond Pluto. Admiral Kextor stared at his sensor display in horror. "War Marshal, we have a problem. New human ships are appearing everywhere, hundreds of them." Nexivore looked at his own screens and felt his blood turn cold. The tactical display showed human ships surrounding his entire fleet. They were bigger than the ships he had been fighting. Their weapon signatures were more powerful than anything in the Zephyrian military. "How many ships?" he asked weakly. 567 combat vessels, sir, plus fighters and support craft." Captain Michelle Lee activated the fleet-wide communication system. Her message was broadcast to every alien ship in the system. "Zephyrian Empire vessels, this is the Earth Defense Force. You came to our home uninvited. You attacked our colonies without provocation. You killed innocent people. Now you will learn why Earth has survived every challenge the galaxy has thrown at us." Admiral Tony Roberts commanded the Terran Battle Group, 50 of the most advanced ships in the human fleet. "All ships, attack Formation Delta. Target the alien command vessels first." His ships moved like a pack of wolves. They concentrated their fire on the largest alien ships, destroying them one by one with precise weapon strikes. Captain Rose Martinez led the outer system defense, force in a pincer movement that split the alien fleet in half. Her ships had been hiding in the outer planets for 20 years, waiting for this moment. Left wing, attack the alien rearguard. Right wing, hit their flanks. Do not let any ship escape to warn their empire. The battle was not really a fight. It was a demonstration of human military superiority. The alien ships were designed to fight primitive species with simple weapons. They were not prepared for the advanced technology and sophisticated tactics of the human reserve fleets. Admiral Julia Parker's Martian dreadnoughts punched through the alien formation like it was made of paper. Each human ship destroyed multiple alien vessels before moving on to the next target. Captain Nick Sullivan's Jupiter fleet used their superior speed to outmaneuver the larger alien ships. They struck fast and hard, then disappeared before the aliens could return fire. Admiral Grace Turner's disguised mining ships proved to be the most effective of all. The aliens did not recognize them as threats until plasma cannons started tearing their ships apart. Commander Paul Anderson's Deep Space Fleet was like nothing the aliens had ever seen. Their weapons could fire through dimensional space, hitting targets that were behind other ships or asteroids. War Marshal Nexivore tried to organize a retreat, but it was too late. Human ships surrounded his fleet on all sides. Every escape route was blocked. All ships emergency retreat, jump to hyperspace immediately. But the human ships had been ready for this. They activated jamming systems that prevented the alien ships from opening hyperspace portals. The Zephyrian fleet was trapped in normal space with nowhere to run. The battle lasted 8 hours. When the weapons finally stopped firing, the once mighty Zephyrian armadas were nothing but floating debris. Only one small alien ship was allowed to escape. Admiral Daniel Clark, Supreme Commander of Earth's True Fleet, appeared on the communication screen inside the surviving alien vessel. His message was simple and direct. Return to your empire with this message. The Zephyrian Empire will withdraw from all conquered territories immediately. Any further aggression against human interests or human allies will result in the complete annihilation of your species. We are not your victims. We are your worst nightmare made real. This is your only warning. The lone alien ship jumped to hyperspace and fled toward the Zephyrian home system. On Earth, President Johnson addressed the planet from the steps of the Global Defense Council building. My fellow humans, today we face the greatest threat in our species' history. An alien empire that had conquered 17 worlds came to conquer us. They believed we were weak and primitive. They discovered they were wrong. Earth will never bow to alien conquerors. We are not victims. We are survivors, and now the galaxy knows it. Within a month, the Zephyrian Empire collapsed as member species rebelled, inspired by humanity's impossible victory. The humans had done more than win a battle. They had shattered the myth of alien superiority and announced to the galaxy that Earth would not be conquered. Admiral Walsh stood in his command center and looked at the tactical displays showing human ships patrolling the solar system. The reserves had been unleashed, and the galaxy would never be the same. The age of human expansion had begun.